Welcome to Game Untie. I came across a story of one of our heroes, Odera. A story that I felt we should share with us, or I should share with you. And actually, I'm just going to read it so that we get to know who was Odera. And it's a story that has been done in brief. So you will allow me to read with you, just in case you may not come across this book. Chief Odera Akang'o. Odera Akang'o was born around the 1880s to Olo Ramoya. That was father. He was of Kagola clan. Jokagola. This gentleman was from your clan, the then ruling clan of Game, whereby Game we find in Siaya County. His father, a chief, died when Odera Akang'o was very young. He was succeeded by Odera Olalo. Odera Olalo died in 1901. When Odera Akang'o was still young, so his close relative Odera Sande assumed his leadership. Odera Akang'o. Jogem Odera Akang'o, a story that people of my age, I know, just came across, not in details, but at least we have some story about this hero. As Odera Akang'o became an adult, he was made sub-chief, but was more able than Odera Sande. Chief Odera Sande eventually died in 1915, and Odera Akang'o became chief. He was powerful and influential. He was famous for his strength, wrestling, and running. You remember this game? I remember sometimes back when we were young, we used to go to the river looking after cows come from next to the river Yala there. We could wrestle the field. So Odera Akang'o was good in that. He is famous for bringing prosperity and progress to Game. So the best or the good practices, progresses that we experience started in Game, started with Odera Akang'o. He started an ambitious plan in agriculture, where he made it law that everyone had to cultivate land and idlers were not tolerated. So that kind of farming you see in Game started with Odera Akang'o. This was a gentleman. He led by example and cultivated large fields, planting new crops like maize, rice, and sugarcane. There are some times back we used to have a sugarcane factory. We used to call it Jagari in a Luo area of a Luo Brera, somewhere there. And there was another one also in Yala Township, just adjacent to where this gentleman, the man that we used to respect and we still respect, Molokel. When you go to Yala, you are in next to where the market, the new market, leave alone the old market is. When you look across the river, you will see some factory there that used to be we used to take our sugar cane when my grandfather was doing that farming in that particular area. So in game, I used to know only those two. There was one sugarcane factory at Yala, and there was another one in Rera. This is a lower area. If you are of my age, if you are above me, you can remember how it used to be. So Odera Akang'o used to be sugarcane farmer. In 1915, he visited Uganda, where he saw people dressed in kanzu. Now listen to this, very interesting. Women and children, clean and well-mannered, and the young people were going to school to learn how to read and write. So Odera Akang'o went to benchmarking in Uganda, and he saw a lot of things happening there, which he adopted and copied, and he decided to bring back home. Very interesting. On returning to game, he declared that men had to wear kanzu, and all parents must send their children to school. So this kanzu thing, me, I used to think that it was a part of dressing from the Muslim fraternity. But I'm coming to realize that, okay, it's also called or rather mode of dressing, which our hero, Paramount Chief Odera Akang'o, borrowed from Uganda and brought home in game. By the way, I come from game. I am a son of game. So you see how things started. Parents who did not comply were arrested and caned. Very interesting. That if you could not comply by the rules that were introduced, whereby you are expected to take your children to school, you are caned. Can imagine how I can just imagine how maybe it was looking like. Find people coming into your home state to arrest you, then you are taken, most probably it was a Baraza area, and you are caned because you denied your child education. You refused to take your child to school. Then Odera Akang'o proceeded, and he started a school in his area where St. Mary's Yala currently stands. So, very interesting. It's a story that I just came across, and I felt that we should both listen to, because maybe the young generation of today may not come across these short books where the stories are. He forced people to go to school, and as a result, game area has a high concentration of educated people. And it is very true. Game is concentrated, and it has got the biggest population of educated people. Very true. When you come across professors, engineers, doctors, the best, these people come from game. So whenever we are, we always proud of ourselves that education started from game. And at times we just talk about it, but we never knew the genesis. But now this story tells me exactly how it came about. It started with the Paramount Chief, Odera Akang'o. He meant well for people of game, and these are people that we need to remember, and even do some nice stuff for them in their home states. These are homes that should not vanish or rather disappear. These are homes that should remain standing. We should build very nice stuff in those homes for people to remember. Chief Odera Akang'o ensured discipline among his people. And for sure, I'm told a long time ago that Odera Akang'o used to cane even elderly people, old men, people who could not abide by the rules or the law that he had put into place. And the discipline in the area, the discipline it gave constituency by then, which is Assam County today, was of a high notch. You could not compare it with any other place. He ordered them to make and clear roads, planted eucalyptus trees along the roads. One time when I was in Odera area, I took a route going to Sirembe, and in that area you would come across very huge old eucalyptus trees, and you would be told that okay, these were planted by the then Odera. So those eucalyptus trees still exist today. Very interesting. So the British then officials sent Odera Akang'o to rule over Teso, who did not welcome his leadership style. The British officials then noticed the talent, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the leadership skills that Odera Akang'o had. Then they decided to send him to Teso. And then the community turned against him. They did not welcome that. I think they did not want the kind of discipline that Odera Akang'o had introduced in the game, which has made even me today a very disciplined person. And I want to believe all game people are disciplined, even if you see them in the urban areas, wherever they stay, when you work with them, you will see their kind of leadership styles, if they are managers, they are supervisors, and even, as I mentioned later, those that you happen to be the consultants or consultancy in terms of, in case you're looking for doctors and you happen to come across a doctor who is a guru, the kind of approach, the kind of treatment you receive from that guy, I'm telling you, even before you are administered any medicine, you will be cured. You just feel okay. So then the Teso accused him of taking their property, including their wife, and he was later imprisoned in Somalia, Ismail, in 1918. So you see what Teso people did to our man. This guy is turned against him, and then he was imprisoned. Somalia is mine. Anyway, that was then. His health deteriorated, and he was transferred to prison in Nairobi, where he died almost at the age of 40 years. So, because of that kind of treatment, maybe prison, his life deteriorated. And this story that I'm reading here, remember, this is not my story, I'm reading a book. Died at the age of 40 years. And what he left behind is something that we cannot forget about. The Odera Akang'o said, listen to this, had a said, is a national monument. This is where the ambitious and far-sighted chief constructed a private police force which was responsible for inspecting farms and report any attitude of idleness. So it means that during his tenure, there was no idleness. People were busy. Everybody, you had to get something to do. It is not like today we sit back and say we are jobless. We have nothing to do. We don't have something to do. During the Odera Akang'o's tenure, that was not a story to be had. You are expected to work. And of course, hard work pays. I like that. He constructed a private police cell and an office where he could arrest and keep the lawbreakers. These things started early. Just that today something happens, and in fact, like in this time scenario, you find instead of you being arrested, taken to court, sometimes you are arrested, and even before you reach the cell, you a dead body. Something that should not be tolerated at all. Should not be encouraged at all. Should be fought by all the strengths that we can afford. It's quite unfortunate. This was the first ever cell that was constructed by Kenya for the lawbreakers. So I will share with you just a photo of how that cell looked. It is the construction of this cell which led to the coining of the name Yala Town, the Luo word Yalo, which means the judge. So Yala Town existed, but it was coined to mean Yalo. Yalo is now a Luo terminology that means judge or judging. Yalo. So I think we felt we should have this story as brief as it is, so that maybe if you are interested, you can now do research and get more details of who Odera Akang'o was. And in brief, that is who Odera Akang'o was. He brought a lot of sanity to the game thing, people of game, that as I said, that is a sub-county that is rich in all sort of knowledge, characters that are required. Get professors I had mentioned earlier, engineers, doctors, the most that are cream profession. Thank you very much. Till we meet again. Kindly subscribe, press the like button, share for others also to know who Odera Akang'o was, and how he lived, and what improvement or development he brought to Jogem. Jogem again oni untie kendo mo joma riek, joma Nyasaye ohero, kendo Nyasaye nogwe. Thank you very much. Until we meet again, I would say God bless you, God be with you.